Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, to this Axis and Allies game. Now, for those of you who are quite familiar with the game, you will probably notice right off the bat that we have changed a lot. The main idea behind that is to keep it simple, and we kind of have a time constraint right now. Basically, we've removed anything that has to do with Air Force, that is all fighters, strategic bombers, and tactical bombers, as well as anti-aircraft. As it comes to the Navy, we reduce it so we only have battleships, which also can work as cargo ships, which can hold 3 divisions, and submarines. As it comes to land forces, it's still the same, pretty much infantry divisions, motorized and armored. And we also reduced the amount of points that everyone starts off with by 10 points. And the idea behind that is basically to kind of keep the super powerful nations a little bit on the lower edge, as well as causing an economic collapse if you do lose too much or gain too much. Like I said, it's just to keep things simple. And victory conditions is to hold as many important cities, which is these red ones, as possible by the end of the game, whenever we either just call it or hold the majority of them. So we're going to do this in the turn order. I'm going to play the Axis, the other guy is going to play the Allies, so we're just 2 people here. And for those who are unfamiliar with the game, you're probably more experienced than us. Let's do this. Alright, back with the first turn of the Germans. I invaded Normandy and France. I lost 1 division in Normandy, but I did steamroll the French in the mainland. They lost 3 infantry division, 1 tank division, and at sea they did lose 1 battleship. Up north, I did destroy 2 British battleships with my submarine and 3 main battleships. The British also lost 2 infantry divisions and 2 motorized divisions in France. On the other side, I did invade neutral countries because I'm a good guy. I took Bulgaria without any fight because they are pro-Axis. I invaded Yugoslavia and pretty much one-shot them without having lost anything. And then I did produce 3 tank divisions and 1 motorized divisions in Western Germany. And that's it for the first turn of the Germans. Now Soviets. Alright, Soviet turn 1. Mostly just troop movements down to the south and the front, and a completely peaceful conquering of North Prussia, which isn't actually worth any IPCs. But as I said, it's completely peaceful and you don't have to listen to the news. The tanks also moved into Western Ukraine while it's still legal. And he produced 6 infantry divisions and amassed at Finland's borders with some unexplainable reason. I can't fathom what that could possibly be. On to the British turn. And we're back with the British turn 1. He did produce 3 armored divisions in England. He moved down and destroyed my Wolfpack completely. And I did manage to sink 1 of his battleships. And in the Mediterranean he attacked one of the Italian battleships, but obviously he was too busy drinking tea, so he got sunk. The units in Egypt moved up to Alexandria. And the units in South Africa embarked upon the battleship over here. And that's pretty much it for the British turn. Alright, American turn 1. He produced, let's see here, 1 tank and 3 motorized divisions. And the infantry that was there embarked upon the battleship to travel down south for a sun trip, or possibly to do cocaine, unsure which is true. And he moved up his infantry to the eastern United States. And that's about it, because the US is currently busy eating cheeseburgers and just watching Europe being set ablaze. We'll be back. Alright, Italian turn 1. I think I slipped on a piece of pasta or something because I lost 1 of my main battleships. And I did take Tunisia but losing 1 infantry division against the 1 French division, which was defending. Great job, guys. I lost another infantry division taking Alexandria, however did destroy the British Expeditionary Force with the support of the battleships. And the fleet over here did destroy that 2 French ships. And I did manage to capture southern France with the ground forces, losing another infantry division. So those are not really very high up in my eyes right now. And as such, we will get right back into the German turn 2. Alright, German turn 2. I moved my fleet over this side and destroyed 2 of his battleships. I guess that's revenge for destroying the wolf pack. And the other guys kind of just moved out to the beaches and shores just to make sure that I got in position to not invade someone. And same thing in the east, I just moved all the troops over to the other side just in case a communist incursion happened. I also did a friendly invasion of Finland and took it because they were pro-Axis. And I did produce a battleship, 1 infantry division and 1 armored division. And that's pretty much it for the German turn. Soviet turn 2. The infantry division himself kept going on with his friendly invasions of Persia. And he also rearranged his stupidly massed infantry out on the front lines. And he also produced 6 new infantry divisions, moving back his armor. I can't fathom what he possibly could have in store for me. This game kind of is a race against the clock for playing as the Axis though. I guess we'll be back with the British turn 2. British turn 2. 4 rifle divisions and 2 tanks. 2 tanks, not tank divisions, only 2 tanks were produced, and the guys in South Africa moved up and tried to catch up with the Mediterranean forces. And that's pretty much it for the British turn. Right, US turn 2. 1 battleship and 1 infantry division was produced, and he kept on his little trip down south. He's probably gonna go on some freedom race. And that's it. Italian turn 2. The troops in southern France embarked upon the battleships and they supported the attack on Algeria. So I captured that too and destroyed that unit. So there's only 1 French division standing. And the other guys blitzed through Egypt and Sudan. Whilst I did try to make a naval offensive against the battleships here, destroying 1 battleship but losing my 2 battleships, so that obviously didn't work. And now I'm kind of in a weird position right there. And that's it for the Italian turn 2. German turn 3, or also known as how to not blitzkrieg. Since Soviets were to join the war either way, I decided to strike first, which went to complete utter shit. I did take Bessarabia without any losses. I tried to take Eastern Poland with complete losses and just lost 1 motorized division in the Baltic states. And looking at the dead pile here, that's the Soviet loss. Let's see here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 divisions. And this is the German loss. I lost a tank division at that. I guess it's still kind of scaling and appropriate for that, but that opened a huge gap in my lines and it does have tanks pretty close by, so I'm going to suffer for that. And this is kind of the breaking point of Axis and Allies. Once you Soviets join the war, you're fucked. And once America joins the war, you're super fucked. And not in a pleasant way. My fleet moved up to the English coast, preparing to get some tea. And I did produce, let's see, 5 tanks, and the artillery division there is actually a tank in disguise. Alright, Soviet turn 3. Quite hilariously, the Soviets assaulted Finland, losing horribly by about 4 divisions being killed. He did reproduce 6 of them, probably, it's hard to tell with Soviet numbers. And he attacked Bessarabia, killing 2 of my infantry divisions, and I decided to pull out. He also tried to attack my fleet over here, and he did kill 1 submarine, but destroyed 3 of his ships. 2 of which was battleships and 1 submarine, and that's it for the Soviet turn. British turn 3. Not a whole lot happened. He did make a landing in Africa, producing 5 rifle divisions, putting 3 of them in South Africa. The rest of them end up in Scotland, and 1 in England, which is kind of overpopulated at the moment, but I'm about to solve that problem. American turn 3. He created some battleships and uploaded a couple of tank divisions on a battleship. That is a battleship, I promise. And another rifle division. And the other guys just pretty much stayed put because they can't really do anything because they haven't gotten an invitation to the party yet from the Japanese. Italian turn 3. In a bit of an overkill scenario, I decided to charge everything at that last French guy, and he got killed. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much. The other guys moved in and just took Jordan. And the other guys charged in and took that place, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Some other Italian units decided to move up to the Balkans into the southern European area to probably protect some flanks, which obviously worked so well in the last war. And just keep moving up my guys to get into some better positions, because as of right now, I think this could go both ways. People are gonna die, that's all I know for sure. German turn 4 as the clock ticks. I pushed up my armor divisions and took Bessarabia and Eastern Poland, destroying the units that were there. And all these guys, the artillery pieces and the flak tower over there, those are tanks. Ersatzpanzer. Yes, we don't have any metals left, I know. I also produced a submarine, and all the guys who are over here actually embarked. Reason being, we're too fucking lazy to put them somewhere else. And that's it. Soviet turn 4. He spread out his units a little bit more across the board and produced 2 tank divisions and 1 motorized division, and finally realizing they could actually use Leningrad to do so. But then again, the late game realizations are usually the best. And now time is actually running out soon, so we're gonna keep going to next turn. Turn? I guess you'd call it that. British turn 4. He created 2 tank divisions down in the South African parts. And he moved up his infantry over there. His battleship also moved around to the other side of Madagascar, because he obviously saw a movie about it. And the British were still drinking tea.
Australia.
Yeah. American turn 4. They finally woke up and realized that, oh shit, there's a war going on the other side. So he created 4 armored divisions, and one also happens to be a bit undercooked, but fuck it. He also did a friendly visit to Brazil, and moved up his tank truck across the ocean. And that's it for the Americans. Italian turn 4. I kept pushing down south and took 2 territories, and destroyed 3 infantry divisions in southern Africa. Also created 2 new tank divisions, and these 2 battle fleets destroyed his tank carrying battle fleet, with thus sinking 3 tanks and 1 ship. Doesn't really make any sense, but tanks can't swim. The other guys moved into Bessarabia to kind of just fortify a place. And that's it for the Italian turn. German turn 5. This will be the last round because of time constraints. I charged out against the Eastern Communists, and let's see, we took 1 area, losing 1 armored division. We took Western Ukraine, which is kind of funny because it's just north of Ukraine, could call it that. Took Belarus, reinforced the Baltic states, and created 4 armored divisions. Yes, the anti-air guns are armored divisions because we're running low on tank models for some strange reason. And also created 1 U-boat. And speaking of bad things, we also took England. I did lose 2 infantry divisions in that, however I did knock out those guys. And the Soviets lost 6 infantry divisions, 1 motorized, in the defense of the Eastern Front. So as of right now, I think I'm in the leading parts, although I do have economy bloat right now, so I might suffer a lot from that. Soviet turn 5, they produced some more infantry divisions and also counterattacked, taking back the Baltic states, and I lost 2 armored divisions and 2 infantry divisions to that. And the funny thing is, right now, if we were to play for another round, he would actually be able to dash straight into Berlin, and I could dash straight into Moscow and Stalingrad, but we can't really do that because we're out of time soon. British turn 5. It didn't go too well, since his Scottish 4 divisions tried to attack, destroyed 1 infantry division, and did jack shit. Over here, his armored division tried to attack and achieved absolutely nothing. And that's it. He did manage to produce 1 motorized division in South Africa, but calling that entire game. It's called the Union of South Africa. I'm not gonna edit that. American turn 5. He did produce a tank and a battleship. However, he decided to attack the Italian battleships, failing horribly. He did dismount his motorized division, so they didn't get killed by that, but it still failed. Italian turn 5 and endgame. We didn't really have any time left. I produced a shitload of infantry because why not? I moved out some other guys to reinforce the northern front because reasons. I got some tanks taking over part of Soviet Russia because that's always annoying when you fuck up the maps in a strategy game. what else did I do? I stole some terrain in Persia because I could. And I moved down throughout Africa with my armored/motorized divisions and destroyed the last stronghold over there. And that's pretty much it. I also sunk a battleship from the Americans. But now, since it's game over, I hold the majority of the important cities. Those are the red cities, for those of you who haven't been following. And I actually win the game, but not by a whole lot. To be honest, I think, if we were to continue, that the Soviets in the north there could probably punch a hole through Poland and just mess up the lines, and I will have to retreat to kind of cover up my own flanks, and I would get flanked by those flanks, and it will be a game of cat and mouse. And thank you for watching, if you actually put up with us for this long, and let us know what you think about this modified version of Axis and Allies. Alright, have a good one.